Hey everyone, so the day has come. The Bruce Springsteen box set, Tracks 2, The Lost Albums, is finally out. I did a video back in April 4th, where I talked about it, what I knew about it. I was kind of obsessed with it, and I still am, reading a lot of stuff and just created a video, my thoughts on it. And it was my most popular video, and a lot of people subscribed to this channel because of that. So thank you very much. I hope you're watching this one too. The albums are out. You can hear them, and I did listen to everything, and I decided that the best course of action would be to treat these like they are 7 individual records by Bruce Springsteen, and start with one and get to know one really well before moving on to another. So I could share highlights of what I think of each disc a little bit, but there's one so far that I've listened to a ton and that I want to talk about today. So I'm going to space these videos out, probably going to do one every few days, couple days. So I did end up ordering the vinyl. I know I complained about the cost quite a bit. I still think it's too high. Especially the CDs. The CDs just seem to be outrageously priced. It is, though, I must say, from what I've seen unboxing videos, it is a really nice package. Really nice book, and even with the CD package, looks really well done. With the vinyl, it looks amazing. I mean, Bruce Springsteen hasn't always been the best with cover art and packaging, but each one of these is a gatefold, has lyrics. Now, I totally lucked out, and I'm gonna, mention the website that I got it through. It's no longer priced the way it was, but who knows? I don't know why they stopped the sale. They never really. Somebody brought it to my attention. I ordered it and kind of forgot about it. But it's collector's choice for being a new subscriber, and also the sale. I got it for 30% off or something like that. Really good deal. Maybe they'll have it again. Collector's choice music. I've never ordered anything from them. Did a little research. They seem reputable. My vinyl is not here yet, unfortunately, although it departed yesterday morning. So maybe I check the mail later on today, or maybe Saturday I'll get it. That would be amazing. It does say right now it's scheduled for delivery on Monday. So, love to show it, but I'm just going to get this thing started. I definitely have, like I said, listened to this record I'm going to talk about a lot. And so let's get into it. So this record, the one that I chose to talk about first, the one that I thought, hey, I think I can wrap my head around that, and I'm going to listen to it over and over and get to know it, is the Streets of Philadelphia sessions. Now, this album was the one, too, that everybody kind of knew. If you're a Springsteen fan, you kind of knew that he had this project that he was working on around the times around the time that he did the Streets of Philadelphia soundtrack, or did one song on it, the song Streets of Philadelphia, which won, I think, a Grammy, got some attention. This was in 94 or 93 or 94. And it was I thought it was a great single. I remember really liking it. I also remember wondering if there was going to be an album with it. Now, let's go back to my personal story here, because I think all music is really personal, and I definitely like telling my take on things. I am not like, I had kind of gotten sick of Springsteen. Maybe that's not the right word. I love Tunnel of Love. I got sick to death of Born in the USA. That's when I got turned on to him when I was a kid, and got sick of it, really sick of it. I love the box set. I've got other videos that go into all this stuff. The live box set, loved it. Loved the storytelling behind it. Loved Tunnel of Love. Bought it when it came out and absolutely loved it. And I think by the time, though, that Human Touch and Lucky Town came out, I don't know. I didn't hear anything from it that appealed to me. It had been about 5 years since Tunnel of Love. And the fact that he put out 2 albums on the same day with very similar covers and styles that made them look really like they're part of the same thing. And both had a lot of songs on them. I didn't like the advanced singles that much. I thought Human Touch was okay. I didn't want to spend, $30 or whatever to buy 2 CDs. None of it was really calling me at all. So I ignored it. So in some ways, I'm a good case, or would have been a good case for, had this come out, would it have woken me up to Springsteen again? Would I have bought it? I think I would. I think I would have. I really do think I would have, because I remember really liking that song, Streets of Philadelphia. If you stuck it on this record, another record that was kind of based on that, and he had a engaging title, and the farewell party was rumored to be a title. Bruce Springsteen, the farewell party. I'd be like, that's something different. I think I'm gonna check this out. This guy's doing something different here. The same way that I checked out the Ghost of Tom Joad, I get way more excited about those projects than I do some new E Street Band record. So in some ways, I'm the perfect guy for this box set. So Streets of Philadelphia sessions, apparently he loved working with loops. He loved the way that he kind of built that track alone in his studio with guest musicians would come in and kind of help build it out a little bit. That he decided to do that for a whole record, and he started writing all of these songs. Now it's known sometimes as like the loops record or even the hip hop record. I must say, when I listen to it, I don't think about that at all. Nothing takes me out of the listening experience. Nothing ever comes up where it's like, oh, that's kind of weird. Ooh, that sounds a little forced, or certainly not hip hop. The only touch of that is in the very beginning of Blind Spot, when you hear it in the kind of hip hop element of vocals at the very, very beginning. And that's probably one of the most loop dependent ones too, as far as really hearing the loops. I mean, it's everywhere. Not everywhere. There's some songs that have drums in them that Max Weinberg must be on that sound excellent too. But let's get into the record. So why did he maybe not decide not to release this? People said at the time, that it was because, or he has said, he didn't want too many relationship records out at the same time. Understandable, or to follow one another. He had Tunnel of Love, Human Touch, Lucky Town. This would have been like the fourth record kind of about relationships. And he decided he didn't want to put it out. Now, after hearing this record and living with it for a little while, I mean, I think he probably made the right choice. Not artistically. I think it would have been a really good album. I think it is an excellent album. I just think being Bruce Springsteen comes with a lot of baggage, and if you had already put out Tunnel of Love and people kind of saw it as predicting the demise of his first marriage, if you put out this album and people paid attention to the lyrics, which they don't always do with Bruce Springsteen fans, but if they did, the press could be very much the same. Is his second marriage in trouble? Because this is some pretty dark stuff. I think the overall theme on it, unlike Tunnel of Love, where it's more like new love or committing to marriage, and you think of like wedding bells and more like ceremony a little bit, and then living with it after. This seems much more about you're in a relationship and you're just, more than anything, is like secrets. It's like the secrets that you keep. You're worried they're going to destroy the thing. That seems to be the theme more than anything, of just like being exposed or having your past come up. And it's really incredible writing, I think. And it sustains the mood really nicely all the way through. There's a couple songs I think could have been hits. Definitely at the time, probably could have at least been like top 20 hits. But let's get into it. I took a bunch of notes on each song, have some lyrics here. I must say, like it just sounds pleasant. It sounds full. It doesn't sound like demos. It sounds like a record. It sounds complete. I don't listen to it and think, I wonder if there should be other things here. There's plenty of guitar on it. Shane Fontaine is a guitar player that worked with him on several songs. You just hear really nice, really tasteful touches of guitar in it, and it just sounds great when you put it on. I've played it in the morning, I played it at night. So it begins with Blind Spot, first song. This is a teaser song. This is one of the songs that's on the one disc collection. And there's a line that is repeated a lot, and it comes early, the first line on the whole album, but it's repeated at least 3 other times, which is, we inhabited each other like a disease. And it's like the like, I don't know, like the decay or the darkness that can come, or the tiny death of a relationship, and the little signs that things are going south. Great lines in here. So long I dreamt my love was lost, and I lived by luck and fate. I burned each bridge I crossed until I stood by your gate. It's almost like surrender to it too. And the chorus, everyone's got a blind spot they can't get around. Everybody's got a blind spot that can bring them down. I mean, okay. The next song is I mean, I love so many songs in this record. The next song is called Maybe I Don't Know You. And it's just sort of like this paranoia developing. Like, what's that dress you're wearing? Like, he doesn't recognize it. What did you do with your hair? You know, what's that record you're playing? You know, does he know this person? And then we get into Something in the Well, which I think could become a classic. It's just this guy can't sleep at night. There's something in the well. There's something that is buried down there that threatens to destroy him, and I'm sure his relationship. That's what he's worried about. Buried secrets in the well. You know, lately I've been watching that corner of the field out where the old black willow fell. Then things can seem so safe and sure, but you can never really tell. Baby, baby, there's something in the well. That sort of gets at like the tension in this thing. You know, there's buried secrets. There's a past. There's things they don't know. There's like you never really know a person, and like he's just got to live with that. Waiting on the End of the World is, again, repeats a line. You know, this is a song I think could have been a single for sure. Waiting on the End of the World. It's very poppy. It sounds great. I could see the E Street Band doing it. But, you know, we loved each other like a disease. We hide the truth in our hearts. One look and everything would fall apart. Here in your arms, a soft decay, and I can feel myself wasting away. I mean, things slow down a little bit for the little things. Kind of a soulful kind of voice going on. But this one reminds me actually of the song Reno off of Devils and Dust, where that one is, you know, visiting a prostitute and is this the best you've ever had? Here's to the best you've ever had. He's like, not even close, you know, kind of substitution for the real thing, and in a great relationship. And this is kind of very similar. This is more like an affair, at least for the woman. The first time I listened to it, I thought he was talking about maybe an ex-lover, but I think it could just be some random person. But you know, it's the little things that count, as she says to him, and it's like he's like realizing like, yeah, it's the little things that count, kind of in the opposite way. They're hanging out, starts with a kiss. He's had too much to drink. He reminds her of her boyfriend, and then they end up going too far, and he seems to regret it. So infidelity coming in, possibly. Next on the record, we have the song called We Fell Down. This is an interesting one, really interesting one. I mean, his writing, I think, is so detailed, and he captures like little moments that mean a lot, and you can really get you thinking. And this song especially, just the lyrics, just the situation. You know, he's up, it's like 3 a.m. and his lover, wife, maybe girlfriend, comes home, and he asks her where she's been, and as soon as she lies to him, he knows that that's like her way of saying goodbye, that it's over. And then it's like it's this dream, and he's sort of like waking from it but can't quite shake it. And it's like they fell down at that moment when the truth was sort of revealed about something that he didn't see happening, or didn't know before, and then could tell when she was lying to him that this thing had happened. Yeah, kind of just powerful song, and so visual, and you can just totally see it, you know. So One Beautiful Morning kind of changes the narrative a little bit. Like the first line, her eyes were black with disease, you think, oh, he's kind of repeating this line again. He's talking about what he's been talking about before. But this song sounds like somebody who has passed away and will find peace, or the person at the funeral will find peace someday, some beautiful morning when we rise. You know, looks like it sounds like maybe the person might have died like not a good death. I don't know. A little bit of mystery there. One Beautiful Morning. You know, it sounds like maybe it should open up side 2 of the record. It kind of has that feel like something different, but it looks like it's track 6, so I don't think it probably opens up side 2. Somewhere Between Heaven and Earth, in some ways, I mean, it could be a perfect title for this thing, because there's like these heavenly kind of aspirations of like, oh my God, we're in heaven, like to sound like a Brian Adams song, but like we're in this amazing place because we found each other and we're in love and we're building a life together and all that. But then there's these things that just bring him back down to earth. And when I say him, I don't know if this is Springsteen. I mean, he invents characters all the time, but he also could be looking at the past, because sometimes, you're in a much better place with a relationship. You're allowed to see a lot clearer on past relationships that didn't work. But, it's like he's being brought back down to earth by, he's not opening up. He's keeping grounded. He's like, that's you, a little girl smile on your face, calling me through the window of your grace, a thief. I stumble half blind, and I'm in your arms, and I slip between heaven and earth, and it gets like darker from there. But interesting song, another like pretty hooky song, definitely one of the songs that I've had like pop in my head. And then we get down to a song that most people, if they're watching this, Springsteen aficionados or people that know him pretty well, would know the song Secret Garden, because it was on a soundtrack, I believe, and it was also on that greatest hits record that Springsteen did when he decided to not release this record and do a greatest hits record with the E Street Band, or kind of a career thing, and add on a few new songs with the E Street Band. And this was one of them, Secret Garden, but it was originally recorded for this record. I didn't buy that greatest hits record at the time, and I remember when I got into him with Tom Joad again, I was kind of like, oh, really? I had to reunite with the E Street Band. I remember thinking it happened after Tom Joad, but it was actually before. I mean, I've obviously heard the song over and over again, and it seems like, when you listen to it, like a lightweight kind of pseudo love ballad, Secret Garden, and you listen. I listened to it again. I've never really studied the song prior to this, but I always thought like, oh, he's letting into his secret garden. No, it ties in just perfectly with the rest of the record, because you're never going to get into that secret garden. You're never, and this could be, maybe he's looking at himself and turning it into like a female persona, that, because he seems incapable, and I say he, the narrator of this album, is incapable of like letting somebody really in. It scares the hell out of him. He's got it buried in a well in the backyard, and it's about ready to explode. On this album, yeah, she's gonna let you in a little bit. She'll let you in her heart if you've got a hammer and a vice, but into her secret garden, don't think twice. And then later on, he says, she's got a secret garden where everything you want, where everything you need will always stay a million miles away. Okay, like that just seems all kinds of messed up to me, and certainly not like this kind of soft rock song you hear on the radio and you're like, hey, you're hearing it somewhere, and I don't know, I'm sure plenty of people have danced to that song, having no idea that the lyrics were that dark. The same way people raise their fist in the air or Born in the USA and think it's a celebration of all things, however right or wrong, that the United States does, when it's the complete opposite. So I really like this record. I would encourage anybody getting into this box, whether you bought it on CD or vinyl or you're streaming it, to look at it as separate albums and take your time, because you're getting, 7 new albums by an artist. It's like a whole career for someone, like you're getting an entire discography from an artist. But this is a great one. This is, like I said, the one that I know the best, the one I chose for this first video. I've already got in mind what the second one's going to be. I hope I get my box set soon. Love this record. I know Springsteen always said that he felt like it was incomplete. I think that's part of the reason he didn't release that. I think had you put Streets of Philadelphia on here, you would have had a hit. The one gripe I have about this record, why didn't he give it a title? He should have given this a title. I don't think it does it justice at all to call it Streets of Philadelphia Sessions and not even have the song Streets of Philadelphia in there. It deserves a title. It deserves, as much as the other records that follow it, to feel like it is a fully realized album. He said that some of these records were mastered and ready to go. So I would love to know. Maybe I'll discover it in the book. I don't think it's in there, but what the title was or what the real track listing was, because it seems like he might have picked songs or two off of this a little bit as well. Regardless, think about it however you want. I like to think about it now as a farewell party. So this brings me to the last song on the record, which I almost forgot, which is called The Farewell Party. This is like a funeral as well, kind of like on One Beautiful Morning. Although the circumstance is quite different. This is an ex-lover, a biker, and there's like a wake kind of thing where there's flowers and there's tequila. People are drinking tequila, and then he looks back on their relationship. She had him. He's waist deep and sinking in her river of doubt. You change your name and your face, but here your fears find you out. And then at the end, he's riding her bike, her bike through the desert, and lyric, wind in the mesquite comes rushing over the hilltops straight into my arms. And that is a line that is picked up and used later in Long Time Coming off Devils and Dust. But again, really recommend this record. And it's really interesting to think about if this had come out, how it would have been met. Again, using my own life, looking back on it, I think I would have bought it, and I think I probably would have liked it. It might have taken me a few listens, but I think I would have really really found a lot to be kind of engrossed in, even at that time. But yeah, and as far as title goes, I know I love The Farewell Party. I also love Between Heaven and Earth the more I think about it, because it seems like it really kind of sums up what it is for him. Like these romantic highs of like fairy tales, or what you hope for, I guess, in a relationship. And then this reality that's much closer to earth and has this darkness around it and mysteries and things you're never going to know and things you don't want to reveal about yourself because you think the whole thing is going to blow up, and secrets and affairs and all that stuff. Definitely check it out. I'll be back in a couple days. I'll show the box and I'll talk about the next record. Thanks.